unbelievably quiet. However, you can even make it more quiet by unscrewing the end of the barrel and adding baffles. With air guns, they're not regulated like a regular firearm. You can buy these baffles and suppressors for air guns right off the internet, and they're perfectly legal to put on your air gun. No other paperwork is required. And once you suppress this thing, it is basically a whisper. So it makes it a perfect hunting tool. I have a target set up down there at 50 yards. Let me put about 4 or 5 shots on paper. Let's see what kind of groups we can get with this FX Wildcat. All right, guys, we're going for groups here. We're not going for bullseye. Just to remind you, you can always move the crosshairs to where that bullet's impacting. Same hole.
Minions have spawned.
Never forget why we fight.
Same hole. These rifles are unbelievably accurate. That is so amazing. 80% of my 22.
The cursed villains.
Basically, you have one a little bit of wind down here.
What we do is right.
This thing indoors. Single hole. Let me go down here, grab it.
I will not falter!
Okay, I got my target from downrange. There you go. And again, I was going for
The scoundrel.
not that was at 50 yards. I have been thirsty with this setup. Accuracy is there. It's dead on accurate at 50 yards. Now, I know San Jose, and I'm pretty much in other cows. Air gunning is new to me, but I want to do some 100-yard shots. Downrange, I have a 6-inch plate set up down there. I'm gonna fire 5 shots and see if I can make contact with it. There's no promise here whatsoever. And my holdover is going to be, I'm probably going to be shooting about 18 targets. Let's see if I can hit it. Nailed it.
Because I must.
This world
Nailing it every time. 4 for 4. Nailed it. This rifle is flat out cheap. I wish we had a really good rifle just to see if at 100 yards. But with crosswinds, these winds are swirling. I live up on top of a hill, and so we really can't get really good groups on a windy day like this. Now that I've showed you that it will shoot very well at 50 yards and definitely bringing
An ally has been slain.
let's talk about the setup. I'm currently using a name brand scope that up till a couple of weeks ago I never heard of. This is actually called a Hawk, H-A-W-K. This is the Sport HD. It does have illuminated reticles for red or green, and it does have BBC reticles inside of it, so it makes ranging your targets at different distances really easy. Especially I like this. $70.
An
My
ally has
final
been
thoughts
slain.
on the FX Wildcat. I want to tell you, I'm hooked. I'm looking forward to right now. You know, I'm not going to give my rimfires by no means, but rimfire is a skill involved in shooting these things. And I've been watching a lot of videos on YouTube and other places on air gun hunting. Now, the cool thing with these air guns, since they just take you can set these things up to about 3,500 psi, and that's a lot of pressure. And you usually have to fill up a tank, and you know, always get about 30 or 40 off the tank, what size you have. But they now make a full compressor that it's a home compressor that you can buy, put in your house, and fill up those tanks. So there's no need going to a scuba shop to fill up those tanks anymore. So the compressor that you put at your house, you're good to go. You have unlimited shots out of these things. And one thing I like about air rifles the past couple of years is the barrel doesn't heat up. A lot of carbon and a lot of fouling and everything as much as you would with the rimfire, so your shots are consistent time and time again, and you don't have to wait for the barrel to cool down. So with the setups with the air compressors and these particular rifles for shooting such as me and a lot of you guys watching, it's a perfect setup because you can shoot once you purchase like air tank compressor or rifle. You can have a setup that is extremely good. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope to be having more air guns on the channel in the near future. So make sure
An ally has been slain.
Keep faith in yourself.
Hey guys, 22 cents here. Ever since the Mark IV was introduced about a month ago, I've been averaging 15 messages asking which pistol I recommend. The Smith & Wesson Victory or the Ruger Mark IV Target. Now, that's kind of a loaded question. My opinion is just that. It's my opinion. But I will go over as best as I possibly can to tell you the pros and cons of both units. Before I get to part I must say, I like both units. I like them a lot. I've been shooting Victory now for about 22 years, and I've been shooting it for several months. I have put thousands of rounds through each handgun, and so I will tell you what I have found that I like about certain handguns and what I don't like about a certain handgun. Now, I'm not going to get the accuracy test on these things. You want to see the accuracy, just watch my reviews on it. They both shoot very well. And I'm not going to sit here and shoot down range, shoot one and shoot the other, and say, hey, this one's more accurate than the other. That's not a fair test. It's not a fair test. But I will tell you shoot very well. First, let's look at the model since it is the newest. Now, this is the Target model that I have in my hands. And what is striking
Has been slain.
at least is this right here. Okay? Make sure the firearm is unloaded and the safety is on. This right here, it is very, very easy. Unlike the predecessors, Mark II and Mark III, there's also the Mark I. Now, the that is nice about the Smith & Wesson Victory compared to the Mark IV is that the Smith & Wesson Victory comes with a rail on top. Now, rails do not come with the Mark IV. But the rails are Smith & Wesson Victory is polymer. I've heard complaints about the polymer rails, and I believe Victory sight play off. The Mark IV has flat-out target sights. I prefer target sights.
In the king's
trying to shoot a pinpoint accurate shot. Okay, if I'm trying to shoot an aspirin off a nail or split a playing card, I prefer a target sight. The Smith & Wesson Victory has a through dot targeting sight. I'm not a big fan of sights, especially on a target pistol. However, I do like the Smith & Wesson Victory five-round sights. So I really do like but let's talk about the four targets as a still good. The Smith & Wesson Victory has and if you look back at the video about the Smith & Wesson, the only downfall of that pistol
Forge
was
onward.
the grip. I wasn't a big fan of the grip. It was very slick in my hands. It was hard for me to get a good purchase. The shape, I wasn't really happy with the shape, but I could live with it. But it was just the grip. I just wasn't a big fan. I guess a lot of it has to do with I'm used to shooting Ruger pistols. I've been shooting Ruger pistols ever since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. So they're just natural. These are, have very aggressive checkering on the sides
This world
of both of these
needs
grip
hope.
panels, and it makes it easy to get a purchase. However, if you have smaller hands, the Smith & Wesson Victory will probably fit your hands better. Both triggers on the Mark IV and also
I will not falter.
now, me, target that's a little heavy. But that's how it is. One trigger is not necessarily better than the other. I have to look more towards the Victory. Even though the Mark IV trigger isn't bad by no means, it's a vast improvement over the Mark III's. But I do think the Victory trigger is just a tad bit better. You are a right-handed shooter, but if you are a lefty, guess what? They now make a target pistol just for you. Accuracy-wise,
Hey, look!
both of these
I'm
pistols
holding
shoot
the world
56-inch plate at 50 yards. I can hit it a lot more
Fear
times than
is
I
the
miss it. Now, that's just using regular propulsion ammo. Both of these pistols will be great pistols for a shooter or a fire collector. Now, how reliable are they compared to each other? I will tell you this.
By law,
They both
by
work about 88% of the time. If you the same Linkster, why don't they work 100%? Well, ask that question. Yes. Also, stovepipes and failure to feed. That's just the nature of the beast. Now, are reliable. We're going to work 98, 90% of the time, like any rimfire pistol that you can own. I've got rimfire pistols that cost $200 to $300. Well, that's not reliable. And I've got $3,000 22 pistols that shoot about 98% of the time. You've got to keep them clean.
Behold.
That is the key to rimfire. The last thing that we need to talk about is the price. What are the prices on both of these handguns? Now, the Smith & Wesson Victory, you can find them on GunBroker
Your turret
around
has been
$350
destroyed.
to $370, which is a good price for a good target. The Mark IV, when you can find it, they're going to be selling between $450 and $475. So this pistol, however, you can find black. But if you choose either, I have owned however, I'm fixing to do a video. Yes, I said video.
Slain an
first of many foes.
Shot 45 here with the new Ruger Mark 400. I think I found some. Let's see what else we can hunt. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Oh, I missed. I missed. I didn't that time. Cool. Click. Oh yeah. This is the Mark 4. We already heard about it. And I had heard about it and read a little bit about it, so I checked Buds and saw they had one, and they sent this to us. So we appreciate Buds helping us out, man. That's a lot of help they give us at budsgunshop.com. So appreciate that. And I've been shooting it off and on for a few days, so I thought I'd tell you about it, okay? If you don't know everything about it, came to the wrong places. I don't know everything, but I do know it is an improvement. Let's make sure it is unloaded. That's what you want to do, and put the safety on. And of course, the biggest claim to fame is you push this little button back here, and it just comes apart so simply, right? Bolt and all of that. And if you've ever owned one of these, that is a sight for sore eyes to you. It is to me, no doubt about it, because I did own one of these. And like some of you, I traded it off. I sold it because it was a little inconvenient to take apart. It wasn't impossible, but it just wasn't convenient. And I have other 22 pistols. I have the Model 41 Smith, Part 384. Not unusual. I've got those. It's like a lot of things. It's just like comparison. It's more problematic, you know. And you know what's happened in the firearms industry over the years, like this is a Glock, imagine that. You know, we've grown spoiled by that, haven't we? By being able to take the gun apart like that without even thinking, cleaning it, and then throwing it back together in just no time. And there are firearms that don't fall into that category, aren't there? There are a lot of them, especially older firearms. I recently had to take apart one of my Model 92 Winchesters to replace the firing pin. Boy, was I reminded that that's, even though not to diss John Browning or anything, but wow, it was just an ordeal, and I almost had to to finish, especially the reassembly of it. But anyway, this is kind of what we've grown to expect. You know, we've gotten spoiled by all the Model 1 firearms. Fortunately, isn't it a great country? It is a great country because competition in the world of business has brought us so many wonderful products. There's competition. There's that constant race to make it better, so you can sell more and make yours better, maybe the best. Well, obviously, the victory that came out recently is pretty easy to take apart. It's a nice little pistol, 22 pistol. I've seen it right here on this table, and I slobbered all over it because it is nice to take apart. You do need the hex wrench. It's not a combat pistol, so I was extremely pleased to see how that thing works. This is even simpler. Ruger jumped on this. I understand that it's been internally talked about this for some time, and I think there are different stories, and I'm sure Ruger won't admit it, you know, but I think it was that gun that Smith & Wesson had probably got him off their rear. Okay, he did a great job. He did a great job, I think, because it's all you have to do is make sure the safety's on. It's unloaded, of course, and push the button. And look how simple it is. It's just amazing. And then, of course, to get the, not just that, but to get the bolt out and clean it. Yeah, there it is. There's the bolt face. And playing from the rear is always best to play from the rear. And I don't have it too dry. I like to use a lot of lube into fire. That's a piece of work. I'll probably have to have another one. I really don't need another pistol. Need, but I'll load this mag while shot while you're. This is the Mark series again. I'll give you a little history. They came out in 1949. Ruger and Sturm. We can get Sturm's first one, but they partnered up in 1949. They came up with the first one was the standard pistol. I don't think collectible now, this first model. They're like this at the time. They don't look, they're not stainless, they're just black. Aluminum frame. I think they were aluminum frame back when they started. I'm not sure. I know they are now, I think, or alloy frame. They might have been back then too. And in 49. And then Sturm died in, I think it was 51. Something funny about dying, because that's kind of the old joke. Sturm Ruger company, where's Sturm? He's been gone a long time. And I didn't realize, I was reading somewhere
Our
that
deeds shape the future.
when they first came up with the logo, the arm, so to speak, Eagle, it was red, kind of like that, I guess. And then when Sturm died, Bill Ruger decided to turn it black, just in memory of him. Of course, the sad thing is losing his partner, and that's why it's been black all these years. And I think on this one now they've gone back to the red. So that was kind of an honor to him as well. I didn't know that. You can fill the world with stuff like that. So anyway, these have been around a while. You I bought one. It must have been about 9 years ago, because we were not doing video, or else I'd have done a video before I sold it. And I remember selling it, and hating to do it really, because I just thought it was a beautiful pistol and it was a great shooter. But I just knew I'd be shooting my Model 41. I wanted to shoot something like that. And because I didn't want to break it down. And I like to keep my firearms clean, as you know, take them apart and clean them up. And again, it can be done. You'll see people post how simple it is. They have them. But see how simple. It seemed a little annoying to have to go through that. They enhance to some extent the slide lock there, as well as and the safety, the thumb safety is a little different. It used to be kind of a little stainless button there, and even the mag release is a little bit different, similar, and it drops the mag real well now. They didn't fall out as well on the others. They really pop out on this one. So you got that all is enhanced a little too, and you got ambi safeties, which I don't like. There's a negative. I can't, when I reach up here to try to disengage the control, down very well. I always have a problem with ambi safeties. I don't like them. Internally, of course, they redesigned that part of blue. Hammer, sear, but it's basically the same pistol. This whole lower is milled out of one piece of stainless. Okay, that's all one piece. So think of this strong cylinder, I don't know, it's kind of weird that I would maybe like this. John liked it too. 9 or 10 years ago. He was liking it too, liking the looks of it. He called it a space gun. Yes, it is. Has the fluted barrel there, which helps keep the barrel cool. And it makes it look cool too. All right, let's shoot the target. Take the target. Let's safety off. Remind me where to hold. Okay, seems to shoot pretty much right on. I've not messed with the sights, so I'll put the target in the box as I always do. Woo. Got him on the last shot. I went out this morning and I was fortunate to find a couple of magazines at Guns and Leather over here in Greenbrier. That worked out well. So I have 4 magazines. Now just 2 come with it. 2 magazines. There's a 2-liter. Thing looks like it's half full. Must be an illusion. Yeah, now it's not half full. Let's go bowling. Uh-oh. All right. Yeah, I knew it. Try to shoot a 10 can or 2. We have a 22, right? Shooting, by the way, federal ammo, CCI, same umbrella, and we appreciate federal helping us out. As you know, especially with 22 ammo, it's not expensive. Let's go over there and wake up Mr. Gong. Maybe I can hear if I hit it. Get out a little bit.
An inhibitor.
Let's try the red plate on the left. Let's try the one in the middle. I can't hear it. There we go. There we go. Sights are right on. No doubt about it. How about the big old hanging thing over there? I know what I'll do. I'll try those. I gotta come up with a name for those 8-inch plates that slide down the post. How about slider? Call them sliders. Now this may not be the best firearm to shoot at them.
Courage must never waver.
Activate it. Try it. Cinder down there. Yeah. And Mr. Cowboy. Okay. That was fun, I tell you. Uh-oh. What else about this thing? Well, hey, as far as negatives, like I say, the anti-safeties are a negative for me. I guess they're not for most people. I mean, it's a 22 target, even though it's called a hunter, I look at it as a target to me, a pistol, and it's not a combat pistol. So the fact that it has a magazine disconnect is generally a negative. It's not so much a negative. Sight is fine. It's a target. That's why it's called a pistol. It's a target. You have a target. It's a sight. So the big sight, I don't have. Thinking I can really hit something, that's good enough for me. I'm not like 22 flanker trying to like matches at 100 yards or something. So, you know, those sides are okay. This is the model I'm fine. One thing I was going to say too, that Bill Ruger, people remark about the angle of that grip. He bought a Nambu, Japanese Nambu pistol from a Marine who brought one back from World War II, and people kind of theorized that that's really where he got this design, that from the root of Luger.
By law or by
Lie to you about, what it was, man. But, oh yeah. Found these magazines, two of these magazines this morning. I didn't really expect to. I was just going to. But I'll run against it. Mission first. Enemies stop. Right. And that too is great. And this is exactly.
In fact, that's where I lost my girlfriend. And I had to get myself out of there because I've shot this enough and worked with it enough to know I really like it.
Checkbook in my pocket to get on out of there.